Many seniors, this isn't just a mild annoyance, it becomes a daily ritual. That sticky, uncomfortable feeling in your chest or throat doesn't seem to go away. Most people assume it's just part of aging or maybe a cold that never quite cleared up. But here's the surprising truth. Persistent morning mucus is more than just a minor inconvenience, it can be your body's way of waving a red flag. And if you ignore it or treat it incorrectly, you could actually be making things worse. That's why this video, or article, could make a real difference, not just in your daily comfort, but possibly in your long-term health. Because today, we're breaking down 5 medically backed reasons older adults often struggle with mucus every morning. These aren't vague theories, they're real, common causes that most people don't realize. By the end, you'll not only understand what might be behind your symptoms, you'll also learn simple steps you can take today to start feeling better. So, if you're between 55 and 85 and tired of starting your mornings with a throat full of gunk, this is for you. And even if you're not dealing with it yourself, chances are someone you love is, so stick around. What you're about to learn could finally explain what's going on, and more importantly, show you how to take control. Reason number 1, postnasal drip from aging sinuses. One of the most common, but often overlooked, causes of daily mucus is something quietly happening in your sinuses. As we age, the lining inside our nasal passages starts to dry out. The tiny hair-like structures, called cilia, that help sweep away mucus and irritants slow down. That mucus, instead of draining properly, begins to trickle down the back of your throat, especially while you sleep. This is called postnasal drip. And while it might sound harmless, it can feel incredibly frustrating. You wake up with a tickle or lump in your throat, clear it, swallow, and it still lingers. For some, it leads to a dry, hacking cough. For others, it's that constant need to clear your throat that never quite goes away. Here's the catch. This isn't the kind of mucus that clears up like a cold. It can hang around for months, even years, and most people just accept it as normal. But it doesn't have to be. Things like indoor heating, dry bedroom air, or even acid reflux can make postnasal drip worse. Some older adults I've worked with were amazed to find that their symptoms vanished simply by using a humidifier at night or slightly elevating their pillow while sleeping. There's also an emotional side to this. Starting your day with throat clearing can chip away at your confidence. Some seniors even avoid social events, like breakfast meetups or church, just to escape the embarrassment of coughing. You deserve better. You deserve to wake up feeling clear and comfortable, not sticky and self-conscious. So ask yourself. Is the air in your home too dry? Are you using over-the-counter nasal sprays too often? Could your nighttime routine be triggering this? Try adding moisture to your environment, adjusting how you sleep, or starting your day with something soothing like warm lemon water. Small changes can make a big difference. Reason number 2, hidden acid reflux, aka silent reflux. Now here's something that surprises a lot of older adults. That morning mucus might not be coming from your nose or lungs, it could be coming from your stomach. Yes, acid reflux, especially a type known as silent reflux, is one of the most common hidden causes of chronic throat mucus in people over 60. And unlike the usual heartburn, silent reflux doesn't always come with chest pain or burning. Instead, small amounts of acid travel up your esophagus while you sleep, irritating your throat and voice box. Your body's response? It starts producing extra mucus to protect those sensitive areas. You might not even realize it's happening. Many people don't connect their throat symptoms to acid reflux because it feels more like a cold that never goes away. But if you've noticed things like waking up with a hoarse voice, feeling like you need to clear your throat constantly, a mild cough that's worse in the morning, it might be time to take a closer look at your diet and sleeping habits. Simple steps like avoiding heavy meals late at night, raising the head of your bed, or cutting back on acidic foods like coffee, tomatoes, and citrus can dramatically reduce symptoms for many people. Reason number 2 continued, hidden acid reflux, silent reflux. There's no spicy food the night before. No heavy dinner. And yet, you wake up with that same need to clear your throat. Maybe your voice sounds hoarse. Maybe you feel a lump or tightness that just won't go away. It's easy to blame allergies. But deep down, your body might be trying to heal a tiny injury you didn't even know was happening, caused by something called silent reflux. As we get older, the small muscle between the stomach and esophagus, the esophageal valve, starts to weaken. That valve's job is to keep stomach acid where it belongs. But when it stops sealing tightly, small amounts of acid can escape upward while you sleep. And without gravity to help, it quietly creeps up into your throat. Your body's natural defense? Mucus. Like a firefighter spraying down hot spots, your body coats the irritated areas with mucus to soothe and protect. But that protection becomes your problem every morning. I remember a 68-year-old woman named Teresa who was convinced she had chronic bronchitis. She coughed up thick mucus every morning for months. Her lungs were clear. There was no infection. But when she made 2 small changes, raising her upper body while sleeping and avoiding food for at least 3 hours before bed, the mucus disappeared. Just like that. Her issue wasn't in her lungs, it was silent reflux. Here's something we don't talk about enough, the emotional toll. When your body keeps acting up and no one can explain why, you start to feel helpless. You're eating healthy, staying warm, and getting rest, and yet your mornings feel like a mess. People around you don't understand. They assume it's just old age. So eventually, you stop asking for help. You stop expecting relief. But you deserve better. If this sounds familiar, try a few simple changes. Elevate the head of your bed by a few inches. Avoid late-night snacks, especially acidic foods like tomatoes, citrus, and chocolate. Sip warm ginger or chamomile tea after dinner instead of eating something heavy. And most importantly, talk to your doctor, not just about heartburn, but about the possibility of silent reflux. Sometimes the solution isn't more medicine, it's smarter habits. If you're still watching this and finding it helpful, comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us keep making content that informs and empowers you. Reason number 3, dry indoor air. Most people think mucus builds up when you're sick, or when it's damp outside. But for many older adults, it's actually dry air that causes the problem. And it's often hiding in plain sight. Think about it. Heated homes in the winter. Air-conditioned rooms in the summer. Both strip moisture from the air. And most seniors spend the majority of their time in exactly these conditions. When the air is too dry, it irritates the delicate lining inside your nose and throat. Your body sees the dryness as a kind of damage, like a small burn. And it responds the only way it knows how. It produces mucus to protect and soothe the area. This might sound backwards, after all, we usually associate dry air with a dry nose. But in reality, your body is working overtime to coat those irritated tissues, trapping dust and calming inflammation. I once met a man named Walter, 72 years old, who struggled with thick mucus every morning for over a year. He tried everything, antihistamines, eliminating dairy, even switching his toothpaste, thinking it might be an allergic reaction. Nothing helped. Then one winter, his daughter bought him a humidifier. Within a week, his mucus was cut in half. Within 2 weeks, it was gone. That's how powerful dry air can be. It's invisible. You can't smell it. You can't see it. But your body feels it, and it fights back with mucus. And here's the thing, as we age, our mucous membranes naturally dry out. Our skin becomes thinner. We don't retain water as well. And what if you're on medications like antihistamines, blood pressure meds, or diuretics? That only makes things worse. So it creates a perfect storm. Dry air. Dry tissues. More mucus. More coughing, throat clearing, and frustration. Emotionally, it's exhausting. You go to bed feeling fine, and wake up with your throat full of gunk, confused and irritated. If that's happening to you, consider adding a humidifier in your bedroom. Staying hydrated throughout the day. Avoiding long exposure to heating vents or direct AC airflow. Sometimes, fixing the air around you is the most powerful fix of all. You're not sick, so why all the mucus every morning? You're not sick. There's no fever, no sore throat, no cold. But still, every morning, you're stuck clearing your throat. Breakfast feels awkward. Maybe you even cancel plans because you're tired of the discomfort and embarrassment. And over time, that frustration starts to chip away at your confidence. You hesitate to go out. You avoid talking on the phone. It's isolating. And the worst part? Most people don't realize that the solution might be incredibly simple, maybe even sitting in a small plastic box on a drugstore shelf. Yes, something as basic as a humidifier could make a world of difference. So if you're waking up with sticky mucus and no clear reason why, take a look around your bedroom. Is there a humidifier running while you sleep? Is there a bowl of water near the heater or vent? Are you drinking water before bed and again after waking up? These small changes cost very little, but they support your body in big ways. Because when your body feels supported, it doesn't need to fight as hard. And when does it stop fighting that mucus? It often stops showing up. Reason 4. Silent acid reflux. One of the most overlooked causes of morning mucus, especially in adults over 60, is something sneaky: silent acid reflux. Now, when people hear acid reflux, they think of that burning sensation after a big meal. But silent reflux is different. It doesn't always come with pain. Instead, it creeps up your throat during the night while you're lying flat, leaving behind inflammation, irritation, and, you guessed it, mucus. Here's why. When you lie flat, stomach acid can move upward into your esophagus without you even noticing. And when that acid reaches your throat or vocal cords, your body reacts by producing mucus to protect and heal those delicate tissues. So that sticky feeling in the morning? That constant throat clearing? It may not be allergies or just getting older, it might be silent reflux. This condition is especially common in older adults. Why? Because as we age, the muscle that keeps stomach acid in place, the lower esophageal sphincter, starts to weaken. Add in more sedentary habits or late-night meals, and the stage is set for acid to climb its way back up. I once met a woman named Helen, 68 years old, who told me she cleared her throat 40 to 50 times a day. She'd seen ENT specialists. Tried allergy meds. I thought maybe it was a cold that never went away. But the turning point came when someone asked her about her evening habits, like eating late, lying down after meals, and waking up with a hoarse voice. Once she made a few simple changes. Eating dinner earlier. Raising her head while sleeping. Avoiding trigger foods like tomatoes, citrus, and chocolate. The mucus problem practically disappeared. But here's what most people don't talk about: the emotional toll. Silent reflux doesn't feel like a stomach issue. So many people feel confused and helpless. They wonder, why do I sound congested all the time? They worry it's something serious, like a chronic infection or even cancer. And worst of all, they feel self-conscious. They clear their throat constantly. Cough mid-sentence. Avoid conversations altogether. But once you understand what's really going on, you can take back control. This isn't just a part of aging. It's your body reacting to a real irritant. And the fix doesn't always require a prescription, it might just require better habits. So, ask yourself. What time did I eat dinner last night? Did I lie down soon after? Am I eating spicy, acidic, or heavy foods late at night? These are more than just little choices, they're clues. Because sometimes the biggest problems aren't caused by what we feel, but by what we overlook. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, comment number 4 below and let us know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss out on future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and uplift. Reason 5, dry air and poor humidity. Here's something that affects nearly everyone, but especially older adults. Dry indoor air. The air you breathe, especially in your home, could be silently working against you. And for many older adults, it's one of the biggest reasons mucus builds up day after day. It may sound harmless, but when the air lacks proper humidity, your entire respiratory system reacts, and not in a good way. As we age, our mucous membranes, the delicate linings inside our nose, throat, and lungs, become more sensitive and less efficient at staying moist. They don't produce as much natural lubrication. And they're more prone to irritation. So when the air around you is too dry, your body tries to protect itself the only way it knows how. It creates mucus. That mucus is meant to coat and soothe irritated tissue, trap dust and particles, and prevent further dryness. But instead of helping, it often creates congestion, coughing, and that dreaded morning throat clearing routine. This problem is especially common in homes with central heating during winter, rooms with heavy air conditioning in summer, spaces where seniors spend most of their day. And it's not just about the air itself. Medications like antihistamines, blood pressure drugs, or diuretics can dry you out even more, creating the perfect storm for mucus buildup. Here's the tricky part: dry air isn't something you can see or smell. You might go to bed feeling fine, then wake up with a thick, sticky feeling in your throat. It feels random, but it's not. That's why something as simple as a humidifier in your bedroom or drinking more water before and after sleep can make a huge difference. Reason 5, dry air and the hidden effects of poor indoor humidity. Many older adults find themselves clearing their throat every morning, especially in winter or whenever the heater or air conditioner is constantly running. It seems harmless, but the cause might be closer to home than you think. I once visited my old friend Bob, a retired school principal in his late 70s. Every morning, he'd sit by the window with a warm cup of coffee and a box of tissues by his side, coughing and clearing his throat like clockwork. He figured it was just part of getting older, or maybe allergies. But something interesting happened every time he visited his daughter in humid, sunny Florida. The coughing stopped. That's when the real issue became clear: the air in his home was simply too dry. Once Bob placed a simple humidifier in his bedroom and another in his living room, the difference was incredible. He went from coughing 30 times every morning to barely once or twice. Here's why: dry air changes how mucus behaves inside your body. Instead of staying thin and easy to clear, mucus becomes thick, sticky, and stubborn. It clings to your throat, settles in your lungs, and becomes harder to expel. That constant need to cough. That sensation like something is always stuck in your throat. It's your body struggling to deal with air that's drying out your airways. Even worse, thick mucus can trap bacteria, allergens, and dust, raising your risk of respiratory infections. And here's the thing: for many older adults, this dry environment is completely unintentional. Heating systems in the winter, air conditioning in the summer, closed windows, indoor fans, and poor ventilation, all of it strips moisture from the air and makes your symptoms worse. What feels like a safe and cozy home might quietly be triggering your discomfort every single day. Let's not forget the emotional impact either. Constant throat clearing can be frustrating, even embarrassing. It makes phone calls difficult. It causes you to avoid conversations. Some seniors even fear something is seriously wrong with their lungs, but in reality, it might just be the air. The good news is the solution is simple. You don't need expensive machines or prescriptions. Sometimes, all it takes is a quality humidifier in your bedroom. Staying hydrated throughout the day. Adding indoor plants that naturally release moisture. Opening windows periodically for fresh air. These small, thoughtful adjustments can make a world of difference. So if you're waking up coughing or clearing your throat, take a moment to pause and observe your surroundings. How does the air feel? Because sometimes, the greatest relief doesn't come from medicine, but from simply breathing better. Final thoughts, a message from the heart. If you've ever felt embarrassed by your constant throat clearing, frustrated by the never-ending mucus, or even scared that something serious might be going on with your lungs, let me tell you this. You are not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. So many older adults quietly deal with these symptoms, assuming they're just a part of aging. Something to live with. But what we've shared today proves otherwise. There are real, medical reasons behind this daily struggle: postnasal drip, acid reflux, dry air, even medications, and there are real, practical ways to manage them. When you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body starts to speak more softly. It doesn't shout. It whispers. A little cough here. A lump in the throat there. A voice that feels tired or strained. These aren't signs of decline. They're signs of wisdom. They're your body asking you to listen, to nurture, to adjust. Each cause we've explored today is your body's way of saying, please support me. And the beautiful truth is, you can. That support might look like talking with your doctor about adjusting your medications, sleeping with your upper body slightly elevated, using a humidifier at night, drinking more water throughout the day, cutting back on dairy or acidic foods before bedtime. No matter how small the step, it counts. But most of all, I want you to walk away with this. You deserve to feel better. You don't have to accept every discomfort as part of aging. You have the power to take control of your health, ask better questions, and make the changes that bring you peace and comfort. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today. And one thing you plan to try in your own life. Your stories and insights mean a lot to us, and they encourage others who may be going through the same thing. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content that informs, uplifts, and inspires. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.